to us. I would prefer to think of it that I'm taking you to a place in which we recognize that at the same time that what was done to us was unforgivable, we cannot stay only in the place of being angry, and we have to move to a place in which we ask ourselves, we live on this planet with people for whom that living with them is difficult and not easy, and we have to choose how we live in this world. I choose, and I'm not saying that you have to choose, but I choose to live in this world and saying that I will never forgive Christianity for the way it treated the Jews over the centuries. But I do want to move forward with Christian people to a better place in which we respect each other, we respect our differences, and we find a way to share this planet in ways that are different from the way we were in the past. I will never forgive the Germans for what happened to us, but I will engage with young German people about a different future. Because it's, how's it going to help the Jewish people or Israel if all we say is, that's it, you did something to us once, we are never ever going to find a way to interact with you in the future. I don't think it helps anybody.
Can I ask a question?
We're going to leave first.
Okay, go.
So, I don't know if this helps to answer your question, but again, survivors, and I don't pretend that it's vast, I've heard so often, and I think it's incredible coming from the survivors I've been fortunate to engage with, is exactly what Julian is saying to us. It's certainly not about forgetting ever, but it is about the best way we can move forward and create a world that we can all be proud of and all share. In the first place. That, okay, at a personal level, personal now, absolutely personal, I don't think it's for me, I'm not a survivor, right, to talk about forgiving. Forgetting, never.
אני חושב שהתשובה שלך הייתה מאוד במקום דרך אגב. And I wanted to say, I think that the response was correct. There is, we obviously, we're leaving out pieces over here. I think your question is an important one because, look, I feel very strongly, and I always put myself out. I can only put myself into this situation. I feel very strongly that we carry with us this huge pain. I don't say what you say. I feel like a survivor. I feel like a survivor.
When I said that, I mean
I know what you
isn't
meant.
actually.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
In some way, when I go to Treblinka, and they say to me, you have to pay entrance fee. It pisses me off. And I say, you know who doesn't pay entrance fees in survivors? Only survivors don't pay entrance fee to Treblinka. I say, what a cheek. How many people survive Treblinka? 20. Great economic, great model. So you only have 20 people in the world. And now Willenberg died 2 months ago, 19. So, I get very angry because I feel that I feel that in some way that I'm a survivor. But I say to myself, so my anger is my anger. My pain is my pain. What am I going to do with it? מה אני אעשה עם הכעסים ועם הכאב שלי? האם אני אתבצר בתוכם? When I took Israeli 17-year-old Yud Betnikim to Auschwitz-Birkenau, my biggest fear was, I knew they were going into the army the next year. I did not want them to take the anger that they felt after Auschwitz-Birkenau with them into Tzahal, because I wanted them to learn from this, to be bnei Adam, להיות חיילים למופת, לא רק מבחינת הכוחות המזוינים שלנו, אלא גם הכוחות המוסריים שלנו. אני רציתי שנוציא מפה חיילים עם רמת מוסר אחרת, מרמת המוסר של החיילים שפעלו פה. When I had 17-year-old Israelis, I wanted them afterwards to be soldiers who knew that they had to defend the Jewish people, but also knew that they had a responsibility to behave in a moral and ethical way because of what we learn over here. And I'll never forget the first time I came out of Auschwitz-Birkenau with 17-year-old Israelis. And they were filled with unbelievable anger. You know what we did? We picked up a little mini miner. And we picked it up, the boys, they picked it up and they moved it to the other side of the road. I said, that's fine. That's okay. It's a good way to get rid of it. But what I didn't want, and I'm proud to say that I think that every single one of those guys were great chayalim in Tzahal, and they all behaved properly. They all took away from this that the message over here is not, let me see somebody who takes on a Jewish guy now, excuse the French. That's not the message, which I said in Hebrew, we'll screw them. Okay? Well, what we took out of here is that, I believe, is that we come over here to learn also how to behave going forward, and I think that we have a responsibility in terms of the memory of these people who were murdered over here, never to behave in the way that the murderers behaved.
But those are life lessons, generally.
Anyway, we have to actually, if you want to take a photograph,